Welcome back to Cosmoholics Anonymous. I am your favorite mother of three, bougie vintage, and today's video is all about you. Welcome to Botox. Well, actually, it's facing the facts, but that's neither here nor there. Let's get into this video. Hi, Bo. I would like to stay anonymous for this story. So I'm 19, turning 20 in a few months, and I've been having issues with a friend of mine and just want to know if I'm tripping or justified in how I'm feeling. I broke up my paragraphs just in case the background makes the story too long. So I have this friend who I will call Sarah. I've been in the military for almost 2 years now, and she was my first acquaintance and later turned friend because we have the same job and worked the same squadron together. At first, everything was really cool and we were work friends. I lived on base in the dorms and she lived off base with her husband, and she is also 14 years older than me, so our friendship worked at work because we had our job to relate to. But outside of that, what can I say as an 18/19-year-old to relate to with someone who is 32, 33? I don't know. Why don't we ask Drea, okay? Why don't we ask Drea, okay, since she want to be 40 with a 22-year-old baby daddy? That is crazy. But that's neither here nor there. Let me mind my business. She left the military for a couple of months, and I would go over to her house for a bit to hang with her, and everything was cool. At that time, she had a lot going on in her life, but she was still pretty upbeat and fun to be around. But lately, it's been getting weird. So she came back a couple of months after she left. Before anyone in the military comes at me, it doesn't happen whenever retention is low. I don't know what the hell that means, but okay. And it was cool. But then I left the squadron I was at to a new and busier one, and I'm also in school. That's when things started to get weird. I don't have enough time to go into everything, but I'm just gonna cover what had to be effed up today. So here's the actual story. So we have a counselor from our old wing that I still go and see. Last week I had an appointment before her that I was late to, but she and my counselor told me to just go, and I just went because I was already in the parking lot. That was my fault because counseling is where you go to spill your dark secrets, and no one should be in that room that you don't want to know your business. And that's one of my issues with her, that she'll bring up anything I say to her and throw it in my face. Okay, do you already know that's a red flag? That is not your friend. Anyways, last week Sarah invited me to her appointment, so imagine my surprise when she calls me to tell me that I can just walk in the room when I get to my counselor's office, because why are we going to be there at the same time? Anyways, I get in there and she's there, so I'm thinking that she had an appointment before me and just wanted to catch up. But no, my counselor let it slip that she had an appointment an hour after me and decided to just join my session when no one ever asked me if I was okay with that. Well, that's weird. Why would the counselor? That's not a real counselor, child, because that's crazy. So I get there, and I was telling my counselor about my plans to help my other friend move this weekend, and Sarah goes, "You didn't tell me you were doing that. How come you never make plans to hang out with me?" I don't know, maybe because whenever we hang out, you spend the entire time trying to teach me life lessons and chastising the F. Then she got on me because I told my counselor that I plan to use my GI Bill, military money for school. And she started going crazy about how I was wasting my benefits to go to school when we get tuitions assistance throughout the year to go to school. But as I had stated before, I already used up my TA benefits for the fiscal year and have one more class that I need to take to make the president's list at my college that I don't want to pay for, so I'm using my GI Bill to get the damn money. But she was literally yelling at me about it. A lot more happened, but I've already wrote a whole page worth. My question is, do I keep her as a work friend and establish my boundary, or is it too far gone to salvage the relationship altogether because she clearly has a boundary issue? The military is a scary place, child. Okay, I personally would probably not be friends with her anymore, not at work and not outside of work, because she's just made me uncomfortable. But if you feel like it's gonna create too much tension to not be friends with her at work, then I say just keep the peace at work, keep her as an acquaintance, but not as an actual friend, not somebody that you trust, not somebody that's gonna be sitting in your therapy sessions. Like, that's crazy that she was just there, overbearing, obsessive, very much the military men that murder women on the shows that I watch, is very much like this. So maybe it's just a military trait. I don't know, child. Crazy people. I wouldn't keep her too close, okay? I keep her close enough to watch her, but that's about it. I forgot to add, I got married. Don't judge. It's a military thing. Girl. Yeah. Ooh. And I showed her my ring, and the first thing she said wasn't, "Oh, that's so pretty," or "Congrats." She goes, "That's fake." which it's not. It's just a sapphire because my husband got tired of me losing the other 2 engagement rings that he bought me, and then asked me if I bought it with my own money. Well, she a hater, baby. You don't even need her around. Like, I wouldn't even keep her as an acquaintance at that point, because why are you even suggesting that? And why are you asking me that? And why are you saying it's fake? Like, she's a hater, because it's a beautiful ring. It's very beautiful. That's a nice ring. It's very pretty. And the going back to school thing, she said that I only go to school so I can make my performance report look good. Like, excuse the F out of me. That's just rude. I think this is petty. I think that she is not your friend. She's not a good friend. She's not a real friend. And you need to cut her loose, okay? Cut her loose. Cancel her. Like Nino. This one is called He Broke Up With Me Because I Got Pregnant Again. Oh, Lord have mercy, child. Good afternoon, Bo. I'd like to stay anonymous, please. My boyfriend, who I was deeply in love with, broke up with me because I got pregnant again. Background story is I fell in love with him. We promised each other the world. Possibly... My nails falling off is just disrespectful, girl. But you know why I'm not gluing them on? Because I have on a gel manicure. And the other day, I glued on a press-on top of my gel manicure. Do you think that my nail did not rip off? Like, it was crazy. So I don't be gluing them on when I got gel mani going, but I'll be right back. We promised each other the world, possibly the best boyfriend anybody could ever ask. Met my whole family. 5 months into relationship, I found out I was pregnant. Immediately, I knew I would be terminating the pregnancy. The trauma and guilt that came from that was unbelievable. It is not as easy as it seems. I seek answers from God through my dreams. I had a dream that I was pregnant before I even knew I was pregnant, but in the dream, my belly vanished. Fast forward after the abortion, I had a dream that a lady walked up to me and sternly said for me to never do it again. The exact words were, "I let you do it this time, but don't you ever do that again." Child, you already know I'm a dreamer now. I don't take dreams lightly. Anyways, after that whole event, I started searching for God. I wanted to build a relationship. I made a promise to never do it again. I told my boyfriend and he was fine with it. Fast forward to January 2024, I'm pregnant again. Child, why aren't you guys using protection or are you? Sorry, let me not make any assumptions. His vibe completely switched on me. All he kept saying is he's not ready for a kid right now. Then stop having sex. Stop having sex. I don't want to hear nothing from any man or woman that says they're not ready to have a kid. If you're not ready to have a kid, then you don't need to be spreading them legs. You don't need to be pumping. Okay? Period. I have no sympathy, empathy, nothing. I feel nothing for people that have sex and say they don't want to have a child. Okay? Unless you're going to go get snipped, I don't want to hear about it. I don't. Especially for the men. Okay? Especially for the men. Go choke your damn chicken. I informed him neither do I, but I told him multiple times I couldn't do it again. I stressed so many protective measures and he did not once listen. Birth control failed me. I am debating if I should keep the baby or not. I told him I'm going through with the abortion, but last night he broke up with me. He said he can't go through that again. He said he's not strong nor motivated enough to go through another abortion with me. He said if I didn't get pregnant, we would still be together. I don't like this man not a bit. He can go to the hottest parts of hell, okay? He can go to the hottest parts of hell and forget you exist, because there is no way in hell that this is his attitude. He don't want you to keep the baby, but he breaking up with you because you got an abortion and he can't go through that again. To me, it's an excuse. And he's been looking for an excuse to leave you, girl. And at this point, you need to respect yourself and just never look back, okay? Before you turn into a pillar of damn salt. Never look back at this man ever again. I think you were a little irresponsible when you were saying you stressed protective measures, but he wouldn't listen. If he's not listening to you saying, okay, we need some form of protection, and you know, maybe you're taking birth control but you also want to use condoms because that's a smart thing to do, and he's saying no, he doesn't want to use condoms, at that point you need to say, okay, well then we can't have sex, because I'm not going to be put in a position where I then have to be a single mother, or I have to decide if I'm going to have another abortion, or whatever the case may be. Or you just up and leave me because I'm pregnant again and you don't want that. So, I feel numb. I feel empty. I feel like the whole relationship was a lie. I feel like God is testing me. I'm going to need you to put a capital G on the God, okay? Because every time you wrote God in here, you didn't put lowercase g, and I'm just inside. It's just killing me inside. I'm just, ooh, Every time you use lowercase g, I feel like a stab inside of my body. But yeah, capital G, girl. I took a pause from school because I didn't have money to pay the rest of my school. My car insurance is 1,000 USD. What the hell kind of car are you driving? A Hummer? 1,000 USD for car insurance? Are you an underage driver? No, that don't sound right. I was driving a big body car and I was only paying $200 Canadian for my car insurance. I am beside myself. Like, what do you mean 1,000 USD for car insurance? Is that for the year? That can't be a month, girl, because I was paying once a month. That can't be for the, no, that has to be for the year. I still live at home. I don't want my baby to struggle with me. I've always wanted my kids to have a good, active dad. This wasn't in my plan either, but it happened. I've been crying since I found out about the pregnancy. Long story short, I am looking for advice on what I should do. I am 24 and he is 23, by the way. I hope you see this. Fan since 2016. I have always known for myself that I would not be able to get an abortion. I already knew that. I knew I wasn't supposed to, and I knew, child, if I ever was pregnant, baby, I couldn't be doing deletus fetus. Okay, that just wasn't gonna be what happened in my situation, no matter at what time that I got pregnant. I mean, if I got pregnant in high school, then it was gonna have to be that I am running away from home. I don't freaking know, but that never happened, right? Because I was consciously aware that I was not supposed to get pregnant. I knew if I got pregnant when I was too young, I would be on my own. I knew my mama wasn't going to raise the baby. She was not, grandmama was not going to be the baby. Like, you see how the grandmama is the baby now? She wasn't going to be the baby when I was 16. Okay, and I knew that, and so I made sure to take the right precautions when I was bumping and grinding, knowing I had no business bumping and grinding. Okay, so that's number one. But there becomes a time where you get to a certain age where I feel as though you make your bed, you have to lay in it. And I'm not saying like you are 24, so absolutely no abortion. What I'm saying is you've already done an abortion and you cannot have an abortion every single time you get pregnant. I don't think that's right. But it's your body and it's your choice, okay? So there's only so much I can say or do, but you asked me for advice now, so I'm giving you my advice. I would not suggest that, because already you put your body through that trauma, and it's not just your body, it's your mind, your spirit, everything has been affected by the first abortion. You do it again, it's going to be worse. Now, you said you had a dream and you were given clear instructions in that dream. One thing about it is, if you were given clear instructions from God or from somebody else that God sent to you to warn you about something, whether in real life, in the natural, or in the spirit, or in a dream, and you do not take heed to that advice, you're gonna cause a whole lot of hell in your own life because you disobeyed. So I would not suggest getting another abortion. I know you sent this in January and it's now March, girl, so you're getting further along, okay? Terminating the pregnancy wouldn't necessarily be wise because you've been forewarned and because you believe that you've been forewarned. If you weren't somebody that believes, you know, if you didn't think that God was talking to you through your dreams, then probably you wouldn't have emailed me. You would have emailed the next girl on in the and asked her for her advice. But I'm a dreamer, and God has spoken to me many a times through my dreams, and I have always taken heed because that's the wise thing to do. Okay? And he's also warned me outside of dreams. So he will tell me things before they happen, and then, you know, I'm not on edge about it. I have no anxiety about it, whatever it is. Girl, it could be as simple as there's going to be a dog that's going to chase you. Like, literally, it could be there is a rabid dog on the court. Don't go on your walk this morning. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it could be something very simple, or it could be something like detrimental to my safety or whatever. Like, he'll tell me when I can or cannot go out and enjoy myself and like go to a function, a shindig, if it's going to be safe or not, you know. And if I'm not supposed to go, trust and believe he will put a stop to it. What was I thinking about this morning? I was thinking about something this morning while I was making Nola's food. If you miss the warning signs at any given point, but you are called by God and he don't want you to do something, go somewhere, he will disrupt it, okay? He will disrupt it. You can make as many plans as you want. If he don't want you to go in that direction, baby, you're not going in that direction. And so that's why, as much as I've experienced crazy things in my life, I know that everything that I've gone through was predestined. I know that everything that I go through is just what it's supposed to be. Like, if I wasn't supposed to go somewhere, if I wasn't supposed to do something, it's not going to get done and I'm not going to go. You know what I mean? There's been times where I have planned to go to the beach, and I'll give you a perfect example of this actually. So this really happened last year. So we had planned to go to the beach. Okay, I was excited. My period had ended recently, and like I just needed to be in the water. I was so desperate. I hadn't been in the water in so long. My tan was fading. I just needed to go to the beach. Okay, well, we made plans to go to the beach, but for whatever reason, God didn't want us to go to the beach because, one, he didn't want us to go to the beach with the person that we were going to go to the beach with, but two, he was protecting me from other things. Okay, so we planned to go to the beach. We're super excited. It was a Thursday. So it was a Wednesday night that we're preparing to go to the beach on a Thursday, okay? And, the day went fine, but it's like maybe 6:30. And I usually at this time am like, gearing up to get the girls ready for their bath, their bed, whatever it is, the nighttime routine. I'm getting ready to gear up for that. It's 6:30 and I get up to go get something from my room. My door is locked. The key at the time I thought was locked inside of my room because Nola would do that. She tended to at that time to take things and hide them a lot. And so, or she would always be like locking my door and unlocking my door. Once she figured out how to lock and unlock the door, kids will obsess over things like that. So she was locking and unlocking my door a lot, but usually I would either be in the room when she locked it or, the key, I would know exactly where it is. Well, this day in particular, ooh, my foot is asleep, chat. This day in particular, she locked my door and I was in the room and I had no idea that she had locked the door. So when we realized the key was locked in the room and we didn't have any spares, we're like, okay, automatically I knew, okay, I'm not supposed to go to the beach tomorrow, right? It wasn't a coincidence. It was just, I knew right away in my spirit, okay, we're not supposed to go to the beach. Fine. But how the hell are we going to get into this bedroom now? I'm okay with not going to the beach, but I need to get in my room. I can't bathe now. I can't do nothing because all my clothes are in my room. Like, I can't do nothing. I had to sleep in my mom's room that night. The next day, I decide I'm going to look where Nola was actually hiding other stuff, right? She would always go into the snack cupboard and hide stuff in there. And I had looked before, I had looked in the chip box for the keys and I didn't see them. I didn't hear them jingling and I didn't see them. Well, the landlord had the keys, like the spare keys. They had the spare keys, but they live on the other side of the island and we needed them cut. So we get the keys cut and the keys get delivered and I get into my room. When I get into my room, I realize my keys are not in my room, which means the whole entire time they've been somewhere in the house that was accessible, but we couldn't get them. We couldn't find them. And Nola was not answering us as to where the keys might be, right? So we were just under the assumption that they were in the room because she had confirmed that they were in the room, but she was just saying that they were in the room. They were not in the room, okay? So once I got back in my room and I realized, oh my God, the keys are not even in here, I go look in the snack cupboard again. Where are the keys? In the damn chip box, just like I had thought initially. And so if you're not supposed to go somewhere, do something, baby, it will be blocked, okay? And that's something I actually pray about a lot. I'm like, Lord, if I'm not supposed to do this, please just let me know, because I'm not trying to make no mistakes, any mistakes. I'm not trying to make any problems for myself. Like, please just lead me, God. And so you've been led and you can't take that for granted that God is even choosing to actively tell you yes and no and where to go. Yes, it's hard to do on your own. I've especially the pregnancy part of things, and then after that is hard. So just make sure that your family or whoever you can have that's close enough to, support you will be there for you and help you throughout that. But don't be looking back at the baby daddy. And don't be even thinking about trying to force him into fatherhood. He's already made it very abundantly clear that he does not want to be a part of the child's life. So I would say to just cut the cord right away. Do not put him on the birth certificate, okay? Because you're going to tie yourself up at that point. Just leave him where he's at. He broke up with you. He knows that you're pregnant and he broke up with you. So at this point, he dead, child. Like, he just treat him like the deceased. Okay, he does not exist. Yes, it hurts, but girl, you will be okay, and it's just better this way for you and your peace of mind and your child's peace of mind. Because the last thing you need is a parent around that doesn't want to actively be there for the child. And they're just there because whatever reasons, okay? But it's not, the reasons that they're there are not with good intent. You don't need that. The child does not need that. So don't have your abortion, but also ensure that you are praying about your situation and hearing clearly from God what you're supposed to do in this situation. But if you're already struggling with the trauma of having the first abortion, I don't see why you would put yourself through that again. Now, why are y'all always telling me about your mama's borrowing your damn money, your daddy's borrowing your money? Hi, Bo. First, lots of love to you and your family. And secondly, I need some help. For the past 3 months, my mom would often ask me to borrow some money. For the first time, I let her, but when she asked me again, I didn't let her since I didn't want her to become comfortable with the idea of continuously borrowing money from me. When I told her that, she tried to guilt trip me for a certain expense that I had to pay £50 a month for. Or sorry, I think that's euros. 50 euros a month for because I forgot to cancel my membership on time. She always tries to guilt me or maybe feels hurt by the fact that I won't let her borrow money, but I am still paying that 50 euros, or I'll just call it dollars, yeah, $50, which is finally paid off this month. The thing is, I'm just 18 years old. I turned 18 on December 5th, and I'm still trying to figure out how I'm taking care of my income while I'm also trying to save up for uni. I have some monthly expenses due to the fact that I was irresponsible the first time I went to uni, 2018 to 2019. My mom forced me to pay for my own phone bill, healthcare, braids, hair products, and clothing. Yes, I work, but due to the fact that I can't ask her for money for those things and I need to save up, I don't feel comfortable with allowing her to borrow money from me multiple times. And you know what, chill. I don't ask her for the money for anything, but she'll still expect me to borrow her money when she needs it. I asked her why she wouldn't ask my brother, who's 20, and she explained that that's because he doesn't live at home and doesn't have a job, which is false because he does have a job. My major problem is that I wanted to be able to focus on myself on every single level this school year since I had a lot of mental issues before, which disturbed me the last time I went to uni. But she'll always call me selfish and egotistical in arguments like these. I also try to tell her that as a daughter, I am not obligated to take care of her financially, and since I am not in the situation to do so, I unfortunately can't. As to which she replied that only a real daughter would borrow her money. Okay, your mom's a narc. Your mom is a narcissist. Cut her off. I don't even want to read the rest of this. I tried to block her words out, but I feel like I would like to have the opinion of another mother. Is it abnormal / selfish of me to not let her borrow my money? Baby, reciprocity is reciprocity, okay? It is a two-way street. If you have a mother that you know will go to the ends of the earth for you, that you know would lend you money if you only had $1, and she needs to borrow something from you, then you let her borrow it. But if your parent is not that parent, if she's not that girl, you're not going to treat her like she's that girl. My mom, she could ask me for anything, baby. If I don't got it, I'm going to give it to her. She could ask me for anything. I could ask my mom for anything. That's the relationship that we have. You know what I mean? And so if that's not your relationship, and if my mom were to come to me and I didn't have it, she wouldn't call me a liar. She wouldn't call me egotistical or selfish. The woman, I'm sorry, I'm picking tape off my nails. The woman would be like, that's okay. But I'm glad I would just be happy the fact that she knows that she could come to me and ask me. You know what I mean? And I'm the same way with her. If I don't have something and I go to my mom, I know she's going to give it to me. What? So the fact that you can't even go to her, but she's coming to you and you are 18, parents need to understand the fact that we as children are not obligated to take care of our parents. The only people that get taken care of are people that are good. So if your mom, dad, whoever was the best parent that they could have ever been to you and you just love them down, obviously you're going to take care of them. You will go to the ends of the earth for that parent. But if they're not, you're not doing that for them. At least I'm not. I don't know. I can't speak for everybody else. I think that another reason as to why she might perceive me to being selfish is because I also decided to not have much contact with my relatives on her side. This is due to the fact that whenever all my relatives are together, they barely speak English with me and just end up speaking French with each other and almost ignoring me. I have tried to learn French at school in my own free time with online classes and by watching YouTube videos / films, series in French, but I was never able to create my own sentences in French. I eventually gave up learning French. And when I spoke fluently English, my first language is Dutch, I realized that being able to speak the same language as them wouldn't bring me closer to them, since they would always start to speak French again, which meant in my eyes that I could walk a mile, but they wouldn't even take a step or two. I'm still firm in my decision in not learning French anymore, but my mom thinks it's inconsiderate, selfish, and that I haven't tried enough. First of all, if she wanted you to learn French and she speaks French, she should have been speaking French to you from the time you were a child so that you would know how to speak it. Like, what? That's like me getting mad at my kids because I'm trying to talk to them in French and I haven't taught them a lick of French. Like, that doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? You're only going to learn so much in school, especially if you don't go to like a French immersion school like I went to. So I'm not sure what your mom is expecting from you, but she seems like the type of person that no matter how much you give her, it's not going to be enough. And you at that point need to cut your losses, okay? You cut your losses, count your blessings, and move on with your life. There's no need for somebody to treat you bad and expect you to then turn around and treat them good. You just distance yourself, you create your boundaries, and you stick to them. So therefore, I would like to ask, am I selfish? You're absolutely not selfish, but you knew that though. I'd also like to add that she's a single mom, which is why she doesn't ask my dad. Either way, thank you for taking your time to read this email, and I hope to hear something back from you. Miss Girl, don't take on people's problems. You don't owe your mom anything. Your mom, even as you're 18, is supposed to be taking care of you. You didn't ask to be here, okay? We as the children did not ask to be here. I didn't ask to be here. My siblings didn't ask to be here. My kids didn't ask to be here. We all just got here because somebody was doing the hanky-panky, okay? Somebody was doing the hanky-panky and the children ended up here. We shouldn't have to suffer. What? No. I will be damned if I treat my kids like they owe me something. They don't owe me anything, okay? Even if I'm the greatest mom in the world, even if I give my kids everything they could ever dream and ask for, if when they become adults, they turn around and use the word no on me, you know, if they feel that they have a right to say no, like. I don't know. Like, I don't know why these parents are so damn entitled. They have a right to say no. And maybe my kids are not old enough for me to make that decision. Like, maybe I'm just talking out the side of my neck. I don't know. But I just don't feel like I'm entitled to anything my children have. If they want to bless me, I'm arms wide open, baby. Hands, palms up to the sky. Okay? I receive it. But I'm not going to go to my child and say, hey, Salem, you're a veterinarian now. Hey, Salem, you're a veterinarian now. Can I borrow a couple $100? I'm a little low on cash this month. And she tells me, Mom, yes, I'm a vet, but I'm trying to buy a house right now. Like, I don't know. I'm just making up any old thing, right? I can't give it to you. I can't give it to you. I'm just trying to save. I have to respect that as a parent. You know what I mean? I can't just be like, when you were a kid, do you know how much I did for you? I did all these things for you, and you can't even give me $200. Like, could you imagine? It's just so stupid. It's so dumb. I don't know. My mom has never treated me that way, so she is just like, she's not entitled, and she's not selfish. She's very selfless, and she has done so much for me for my entire life. But the support that she's given me over the last little bit of time, like over the last maybe 5 years, 6 years, okay? So since I was pregnant with Salem, which is when my mom moved to Ottawa, was when I got pregnant with Salem. And from the time my mom moved to Ottawa to this very day, she has just been like my number one. And I mean, she don't really ask me for anything. Like, I guess because I'm naturally a giver, so she doesn't need to ask me for anything. But like, if she did, I'm not really gonna tell her no. You know what I mean? So unless it's just unreasonable. I mean, my mom is not the type of woman that's gonna sit there and be like, can you buy me a Gucci purse? Like, some mothers are like that, you know. Especially if she sees that I have this or that, she's not gonna be like ready eye is what we call it, and be like, me want to, you know. No, why? She could just borrow mine. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, reciprocity has to be there, and your mom is not giving me that she's a very reciprocal person. Okay, she's not coming with that energy, and I don't think that you should bother yourself about her nonsense, because we are not there to make our parents' lives make sense. Obviously, if that's your body, that's your body. You know what I mean? For me, I'm just grateful, right? So I'm just super grateful for my mom. So, I'm going to treat her like I'm grateful and not ungrateful, because she doesn't have to do not half the stuff that she does for me or has done for me. She didn't have to do any of what she's done for me. And so the sacrifices that she's made from the time I was a child to now, I can appreciate them. But if your mom is throwing stuff in your face, you need to go find you a new mama. You need to go get you another mom. Create your boundaries. I'm not saying to cut off your mom. I can't be telling everybody cut your parents off, but if they're toxic, they need to be cut off. And that's on period. I don't care who it is. Toxic people need to be cut off. So don't take what your mom says to heart, because you're not selfish at all. The fact that you're even wondering if you're selfish speaks volumes. Don't take what she says as fact, because I think in your heart she did wrong. Okay, I love you all so much. Facing the facts, the email will be in the description box below. I love you all so much, and I'll definitely see you in the next one.